Welcome, time travelers, to the fascinating story of the infamous Al Capone. Today we are going on a journey through the dark alleys of history, unraveling the mysterious case that destroyed the untouchable underworld magnate. In the tumultuous 1920s, Prohibition turned Chicago into a battlefield ruled by the mysterious Al Capone. But while the city indulged in illegal alcohol, the relentless pursuit of justice was about to unfold. The rise of Al Capone. Take a step back in time to the turbulent 1920s, an era of decadence and rebellion, when Al Capone's journey in the shadow of organized crime began. Born into poverty, young Al grew up on the rough streets of Brooklyn, where he learned to navigate a world of difficult choices and even more difficult consequences. The winds of fate blew Capone to Chicago, a city brimming with ambition, opportunity, and illicit wealth. When the Prohibition era came, the streets were flooded with illegal alcohol, and Al Capone seized the moment. With his charm and cunning, he rose to the top of the underworld, captivating both allies and opponents. His rapid rise earned him the nickname Scarface and created an empire built on bootlegging, gambling, and racketeering. Al's power was absolute, and his influence reached every corner of the city, turning him into a figure feared and revered. Chicago became his kingdom, where he reigned supreme as the master criminal, indulging in lavish parties and extravagant luxury, amassing a fortune that seemed limitless. But while the city thrived on forbidden pleasures, the storm of justice that was brewing was ready to strike. The rise of Al Capone was a heady spectacle, but the glamour was laced with shadows of corruption and violence. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the empire of crime and explore how Capone's power in Chicago came under scrutiny from justice activists who sought to bring the untouchable to his knees. An empire of crime. As Prohibition swept across America, Al Capone's criminal empire grew like wildfire. With a sharp mind and ruthless determination, he organized a network of illegal activities that went far beyond bootlegging alone. Bootlegging was just the tip of the iceberg. Capone's enterprise included an extensive network of gambling establishments where fortunes were made and lost with every roll of the dice. His operations penetrated deep into the city's underworld, leaving no street untouched by his grip. The key to Capone's untouchable status lay in his intricate corruption network. He influenced law enforcement and politicians, ensuring that his criminal activities remained hidden in plain sight. Many civil servants were tangled in his web, making the search for justice a dangerous endeavor. Among Capone's trusted lieutenants were figures such as machine gunner Jack McGorn, his enforcer who enforced loyalty with bullets, and Frank Nitti, the cunning strategist behind the empire's operations. Together, they were a formidable force that struck fear into the hearts of those who dared to challenge them. Capone's reign was a dark and mysterious era, where alliances were made in the shadows and rivalries boiled over. However, despite all his power, an unexpected adversary appeared on the horizon, ready to dismantle the empire brick by brick. The chase is on as the shadows of crime cast a long, menacing shadow over Chicago. A ray of hope emerged in the form of Elliot Ness and his dedicated team of the Untouchables. Their mission, to break through the impenetrable armor of Al Capone's criminal empire, armed with unwavering determination. Ness and his team embark on a difficult journey, driven by a relentless pursuit of justice. But their quest is not without its trials, and Capone had a network of reliable informants, and Ness's every move was followed by the watchful eyes of the underworld. The Untouchables had to be careful not to expose his strategy. Despite his formidable opponents, Ness employed innovative tactics to build his case against Capone. He focused on gathering irrefutable evidence, linking his criminal activities to his elusive financial empire. This cat-and-mouse game escalated as Capone's enforcers struck back, attempting to obstruct justice at every turn. However, Ness and his team remained steadfast, motivated by the knowledge that the safety of their city was hanging in the balance. So in the midst of this high-stakes investigation, there is a glimmer of hope, an unexpected breakthrough that will move the case forward and bring the Capone crime empire to the brink of destruction. So will justice be served, or will Capone's empire remain shrouded in darkness? tax evasion strategy. As the pursuit of Al Capone intensified, a twist in the story could change the course of history. The key to bringing down the formidable criminal mastermind was not bullets or violence, but a seemingly mundane area: tax law. As his illegal empire grew to enormous proportions, Capone became negligent in reporting his ill-gotten gains. Prosecutors recognized this vulnerability and devised a strategy to trap him through his own financial web. The investigation into Capone's finances was a complex maze that required a dedicated team to track the cash flows. Paper by paper, they painstakingly unraveled the threads that linked his criminal activities to his illicit wealth. Their diligence paid off when they discovered irrefutable evidence of tax evasion. Capone carefully concealed his income from illegal sources and did not disclose it in his tax returns. The prosecution's careful presentation of the financial statements left no doubt that Capone had violated tax laws. This revelation turned the criminal case into a tax evasion trial of historic proportions. The complex world of tax law was a critical aspect of this chapter, and its impact on the case cannot be underestimated. It was the sledgehammer that broke Capone's impregnable fortress. The trial. The stage was set for the trial of the century as Al Capone, the untouchable leader of the mafia, stood trial in a spectacle that would shake the nation. As soon as the courtroom doors opened, a media circus descended on the scene, eager to hear every twist and turn in the battle for the soul of Chicago. The prosecution was led by a formidable team determined to make Capone pay for his crimes. They were opposed by an experienced lawyer who was determined to protect his client from the full force of justice. The decisive moments unfolded in the courtroom as witnesses took the stand, their testimony weaving a tapestry of crime and corruption. With each exposure, Capone's aura of invincibility began to crumble. The prosecutor methodically presented incriminating evidence of tax evasion, leaving no doubt about Capone's guilt. The defense responded with witty arguments, trying to undermine the prosecution's evidence. As the trial gained momentum, the city was absorbed in the unfolding drama and hung on every word that came out of the judge's mouth. The public and the press were captivated by the spectacle, with daily headlines covering every event in the courtroom. The world watched as Al Capone's fate hung in the balance, but amidst the chaos and high stakes, a profound truth emerged. Justice was served. The trial was not only about Capone, but also about the fight against crime and corruption, conviction and influence. The moment of truth had arrived. The echo of the gavel echoed in the courtroom as Al Capone's fate was sealed. The notorious criminal mastermind, once considered untouchable, finally met his match in his relentless pursuit of justice. The verdict was that he was guilty of tax evasion. Capone's reign of terror came to an end, but his conviction marked more than just the fall of a criminal empire. The impact of the case reverberated far beyond the courtroom walls. The nation watched in awe as a seemingly invincible criminal was held accountable for his actions. Al Capone's trial sent a powerful message that no one, no matter how powerful or influential, is above the law. It was a triumph of justice that validated the efforts of law enforcement and restored faith in the system. This verdict was a turning point in the fight against organized crime. It inspired law enforcement agencies across the country to step up their efforts against other criminal syndicates. The impact of Capone's conviction was not limited to the criminal world. It changed public perceptions of the effectiveness of law enforcement and revived hope that justice could be served despite seemingly insurmountable odds. The era of Prohibition is over, but the legacy of the Al Capone case remains. It has become a cautionary tale and a reminder that even the most formidable criminal empires can be brought down by an unwavering commitment to the rule of law. When the curtain closed on Al Capone's trial, the story of his rise and fall went down in history. A story of crime, prosecution, and the triumph of justice over corruption. And now the fascinating saga of Al Capone is coming to an end. A story of ambition, power, and the pursuit of justice that resonates through the annals of time. We have witnessed the rise of a criminal tycoon whose empire seemed impregnable. But in the end, it was not bullets or violence that brought him down, but the intricacies of tax laws and the tireless efforts of those seeking justice. The Al Capone case was not just a trial. It marked a turning point in the fight against organized crime. It demonstrated that even the most heinous criminals can be brought to justice under the rule of law. As we delve into the mysteries of history, let this saga serve as a reminder that justice is a beacon that shines brightly, guiding us through the darkest of times. We hope that this journey through the mysterious life of Al Capone has captured your imagination and allowed you to gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of the past. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's hidden stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the past and shed light on the untold stories that have shaped our world.